Okay, let me shift to that bad man over in Green Bay, Wisconsin. That guy being Aaron Rodgers. So this past week, the Green Bay Packers defeated the Chicago Bears at home 41-25 during Week 12 of the 2020 NFL season. And in that game versus Chicago, Aaron Rodgers was phenomenal. He completed 72% of his passes, had 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a passer rating of 132.2. And Aaron Rodgers in that game became one of 11 quarterbacks in NFL history to eclipse 5,000 career passing yards. He is currently 3 touchdown passes away from 400 career touchdown passes. Right now, he's 7th all time in touchdown passes in NFL history for his career. Aaron Rodgers, we all know that he's a 2-time NFL MVP. He very well could win the NFL MVP this year if he continues to play at a high level. Despite being 37 years old, Aaron Rodgers, he looks better than ever. You know, he's great. He's won a Super Bowl in the past. He's probably the most talented quarterback in NFL history. He's great. You know, he's an all-time great quarterback. Maybe a top 5 quarterback of all time, in my opinion at least. But see, here's the thing. When it comes to Bears versus Packers, for a long time, I thought that was a rivalry. As I speak today, I think the Green Bay Packers versus Chicago Bears rivalry is dead. It is dead right now. And the reason why it's dead is because Aaron Rodgers has single-handedly made the Chicago Bears versus Green Bay Packers rivalry irrelevant. He has. Aaron Rodgers has owned the Chicago Bears throughout his career. Aaron Rodgers in his career versus the Chicago Bears has a 20-5 record. That's 20 wins and 5 losses in those 25 games. He's completed 66% of his passes, thrown 51 touchdown passes to 10 interceptions, and posted a 105.3 passer rating. He's been off the charts versus the Chicago Bears in his career, and he single-handedly made that rivalry irrelevant. Remember a couple years ago when Aaron Rodgers went to Soldier Field and beat the Chicago Bears in the playoffs on the road? Chicago had an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl that year. But Aaron Rodgers, he said, nope, hold my beer, Chicago Bears fans, not so fast. Remember the time Aaron Rodgers, returned from collarbone surgery, I believe in week number 17 in Chicago. He returned to that game. He played excellent. Everyone remembers that touchdown pass they threw to Randall Cobb to win the game and send Chicago home and smash their playoff hopes. Aaron Rodgers has owned the Chicago Bears in his career. And before Aaron Rodgers started a single game for the Green Bay Packers, the Chicago Bears were 90, 80, and 6 versus the Green Bay Packers. They had beaten the Green Bay Packers 90 times. Green Bay had beaten Chicago 80 times. They tied 6 times, obviously. Green Bay only won 45% of their games versus the Chicago Bears before Aaron Rodgers became the starter. Ever since Aaron Rodgers took over for Brett Favre in Green Bay, the script has completely flipped because as of right now, 25 games later, the Green Bay Packers now lead the series versus Chicago all time. Chicago is 95, 106 versus Green Bay. That's 95 wins, 100 losses, and both teams have tied 6 times, okay? So Green Bay went from having a 80, 90, and 6 record versus Chicago to leading the all-time series versus Chicago. The Chicago Bears no longer lead the series. Green Bay now has an advantage in that regard. Green Bay is 195-6 all-time versus Chicago. Aaron Rodgers has completely flipped the script. Once again, Green Bay has 100 wins, 95 losses, and 6 ties versus Chicago, okay? So Aaron Rodgers, he's completely flipped the script in Green Bay, Wisconsin in regards to when they go against Chicago, you probably know who's going to win. You're probably going to take Aaron Rodgers and the Packers to beat the Chicago Bears. A long time ago, Everyone anticipated, ooh, Bears versus Packers. Who's going to win? More times than not, as long as Aaron Rodgers is playing at a high level, we know who's going to win that game more than likely. You know, Chicago every now and then, they'll give Aaron Rodgers some fits, but for the most part, Aaron Rodgers, he's absolutely owned the Chicago Bears throughout his career, and Aaron Rodgers has single-handedly made the Chicago Bears versus Green Bay Packers rivalry irrelevant. An all-time historic rivalry has now been made irrelevant, all because of Aaron Rodgers. Listen, Chicago Bears can clap back at me all they want. Guess what? A rivalry is not a rivalry if one team continues to defeat the other. Over the last 25 games versus Green Bay, including the playoffs, Chicago has 5 wins. That's pitiful. That's awful. That's not a rivalry. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, as long as Aaron Rodgers is playing at an elite level, the Chicago Bears of the world, the Detroit Lions of the world, the Minnesota Vikings of the world, they have no chance in the NFC North. As far as I'm concerned, Aaron Rodgers has single-handedly made an historic rivalry irrelevant. I no longer consider Chicago versus Green Bay to be a rivalry. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but that's my honest belief, and that's how I feel. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.